Hello and welcome back to the TG podcast. This is episode 16 or 17. We don't know. With this is Demise cast. Your hosts are me, Nick, Submadoge, and xezelthrawr. And our guest today is Demise. How are you doing, Demise?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Doing pretty great.
Are you okay, Demise?
I don't know why I just laughed. It's just
We
something about the way that was said made me laugh.
we
Look, okay,
we need to
I'm
call an
freaking out
ambulance,
mentally.
Demise.
Yeah. Call an
But
ambulance,
anyway,
call an ambulance. But
We
not
but
for
we
yeah,
me.
need to get him here. I'm calling 911 now. I don't know if they do international, but it should be fine. They should get there in time.
Call
I'm
Pitbull. He's
pretty
Mr.
sure the
Worldwide.
phone number here is 999. It's actually quite scary that I don't know the police number.
Does emergency services do same-day delivery?
Imagine waiting like 7 days, 7 business days for the police to arrive.
I
Yeah,
think
like
ambulances can float, so they can just drive across the Atlantic Ocean and across the entirety of Africa or through the Mediterranean, whichever way they want to do. And yeah,
fifth
they should be able to get there.
responders, I think. I
Suez
believe it's
Canal.
called they're called fifth responders
Fifth
instead of
responders. They
yeah.
take a while.
Suez Canal blockage part 2 when?
That one ambulance, it just gets stuck. It's not even that big. I don't know how it did that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is the
Anyway,
MiceCast. He's the guest here. Time to ask him questions. So, time to ask the question that we ask every single person that's come on here ever. How did you find out about the server?
well, I played Minecraft for a while, but I only right at the start of lockdown, which has been like March or some no, like June or 2020, I got like my first PC and Minecraft. So I was already in the teenagers, the r/teenagers, and they were advertising like in the Discord. I just asked, "Does anyone know a survival server?" I did not know teenagers had one, so I just asked if anyone had it, and they said, "Yeah, join this." So I joined, and at first I couldn't figure out how anything worked, so I just walked around for a day, and then I quit for 2 days. Like I just didn't bother, and then I joined
Smart
again, and I
choice.
sort of figured things out.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate decision because now you're still here and you're
Yeah, I think
playing on TG. You're on the TG podcast. This is a
2
A
days
year
fate
and a
worse
half.
than death.
I can't believe it.
A
2 days
series of
should have
unfortunate
turned
events.
into a lot longer, I think.
It really should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I took like a break in Christmas, and I think the worst decision I ever made was coming back because now I'm here and I have to do things, and
Yeah.
it's horrific.
An hour
Yeah.
out of your day.
It's really just ruining my entire life, taking 1 hour out of my time immediately after I wake up to
Yeah.
film a podcast.
Oh,
It's
easy.
really grueling.
Babe,
Why
it's time.
Terrible on your health. My lungs are dust, and my stomach is nothing but acid.
Huh.
So, anyways, you just joined like a month before me too. So you joined the wrong
Uh,
stream.
really? I think it was because you joined right at the end of 15. I played 15 for like a couple months at least.
Yeah, I joined July 28th, 2020, if I
Yeah, I
remember
played for about
correctly.
3 months before you came.
Did you just say you joined in June 2020?
I
Wait,
actually,
what?
I'm now remembering it was like May 2nd or May 5th.
Well,
One of the two.
okay.
I
Now
remember that
you're
was
just
my
going to
first
upset me.
DM. First thing I asked Muzak was, yeah, but
Well,
May
great.
6th. That was the first time I logged onto the server.
Huh.
Now that you figured out that I joined in July, you have to separate yourself, push yourself back. No, I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
joined
I
in
did not
May.
join near something. Uh, I mean, I even quit TG like a little bit in 1.15 because I joined and everything was already done. So I joined another server that died. I came back to prepare for Anarchy, and then 116 started.
Yeah, that seems to be pretty common with a lot of people that people join, they see everything is done, and then they just don't come back, which is quite
Mhm.
sad. But that seems to be working on 1.17 because nothing's done. So everyone gets to join in, and it's still going great.
And
Pretty
leaves
hard to
anyway.
get things done too. It's just there's a lot.
There's a bit,
There's
but
a
like
bit.
there's still no roads in prosperity, which is very unfortunate. You have to walk on grass. You have to touch grass, and
Yes.
that's a tragedy.
Well,
I
no,
mean, half
if
half
you
of the
touch,
grass isn't even there.
it's like the thing with grass is like you mentioned earlier, it was like a mistake coming back to TG. But I mean, you know, if you touch through grass like in real life or something, would that like fix everything in there? Like, would you believe that TG and grass are like two mutually exclusive things at this point?
I think when you touch grass, you are immediately resolved of all of your issues and problems, and the world immediately gets much better, and you
World
are
peace.
Yeah.
forcefully separated from TG. And I think that that's the magic of touching grass.
A magic
Yeah,
that we
like
shall never know.
the grass is like the immovable object, and the server is like the unstoppable force. They can't meet, and we don't know what would happen if they did.
Well, there's grass on TG.
There is.
No, no,
That's
No?
not real grass.
no, no.
It's the closest we can do without immediately combusting on impact with any type of grass. We can only use virtual grass. That's the most we can do, and even then, it is revolting.
What if I flew over to Germany and I got a blade of grass and I touched the blade of grass on the server? What would happen?
Dude.
A black hole would be created that sucks in the earth.
An unstoppable force and an immovable object.
What happens touching grass with a server? It's a big question, and I don't think
It's an
humanity will ever
oxymoron.
know. Yeah,
Who you calling a moron?
it's something that can never happen, and it's all theoretical because we'll never know.
Yeah,
All right. Do you want us to take a shot at the next question, or y'all want me to
Yeah,
do that?
that's what the
Um,
hosts do. We revolve
all right.
questions.
All right, I guess I'll take a shot at the next one. Where does your name come from?
So as many people probably know, I'm a really big Legend of Zelda fan. So when I was trying to come up with my name, I just kept putting in Legend of Zelda characters, but they were all taken. So I found Demise. He's a villain in Skyward Sword, the boss. So I put it in. It doesn't work. So I'm like, you know what? I want this one. So I just put Son of before that, Son of Demise, and then that's how it's created. But I wanted Demise anyway, so I just put that as my Discord name because it's
Hmm,
also a lot less like not as much of a mouthful.
that's
So
interesting.
what is the canonicity of this? Is your Discord profile the father of your Minecraft account?
I mean, I guess so. It did exist before it, and I wouldn't have played TG, so it's without having Discord. So in a way, it kind of is.
We need to know more about the DCU of the Demise cinematic universe and
I was thinking,
figure out what's going on here in this life.
well, it's like a paradox. I am my own father. You ever see that thing about like what happens if you go back in time and become your own grandfather? Those kind of paradoxes.
I've heard of them, but I have no idea what any of them mean.
I've heard
Yeah,
the kill your grandfather one. I have not heard the become your grandfather one. But
there's this really long Reddit copy pasted that I really do not want to get into or ever read again. But but yeah, it explains how you could become your own father.
oh, I
I
think I've
did
seen that. Yeah.
I did
Oh,
want to pull up and read that Reddit copy paste on the podcast, but as soon as you said you never wanted to read it again, I'm now worried, and I've decided otherwise.
It's not
I've
that
seen,
bad, if I
I've seen
remember.
some, I've probably seen some worse stuff than whatever that could be. I think I might check it out at some point, but right now I feel like that's gonna be a bit much.
My mind immediately goes to like a Back to the Future situation, and now I don't want the podcast to get demonetized.
I don't think it's even talking about. I think it's talking about it like legally without time travel, if I remember. Like
No, no,
Wait,
no, no. It is like you cannot be your own father without time travel.
I saw
wait,
something
You
that
must
said you
have
could.
time travel.
I
wait,
don't know.
Demise. Is it like going into like the same amount of detail as the Vaporeon copy pasta?
This is a big question.
I think we need a new topic.
We need to know.
Alright. No, but I mean like sure it could be like if it's like BS type stuff that someone's like trying to put in there just to, like fluff up a copy pasta, or are they actually like trying to put in actual logic into this? I think we broke him.
I think he's dead. Should I
Hey,
call the
What?
ambulance again?
No, no,
no,
no,
I
wait.
think this is a good place to end. I think.
This is a
Guys,
great place to end the podcast.
y'all are
Yeah.
Amazing.
y'all are missing what just happened. He just went back in time to become his own father, then came
He
back right
is?
here.
Wow. I
Oh my
can't believe
god.
it. Father of Demise.
Oh
My
my god.
connection cut for a second. I didn't hear what was being said.
We were asking,
We asked you questions and then you just didn't respond, so we're calling you an ambulance now.
What was the question?
we were asking is like, so this copy pasta you mentioned about how you could technically become your own father, is it just full of like BS stuff that's like meant to be in there just to fluff up the copy pasta and like meant to keep on grabbing people's
Oh no, no,
attention
no.
about how
It's like
good?
completely very technical stuff. It's a really
Like
long
the
process. And
Vaporeon copy pasta?
let me try and find it while we're talking.
You know, that might not
If
be the
we
best
keep doing
solution.
this episode's eventually going to be named Demise and the Vaporeon copy pasta, and I'm worried
No, no,
about
no.
that.
It would be no, it would be like Demise and the time traveling father or something like that.
I'm trying to find it.
No,
I don't.
Oh, I was
it,
mistaken. It's not how you be your own father. It's your own grandfather.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Oh, and that's in real life, like without time travel. So it's really messed up.
Weekend plans.
Oh my god.
Wait, I actually think I've seen that one before.
So, Demise, when are we going to see Grandfather Demise?
If you want to change your name to that, feel free.
I am not
Re-
changing my name to that.
I remember one time there was like I was making a joke. People were talking about grandfather of demise, aunt of demise. I was like, just have everyone in TG change their names to some iteration of demise, and just whenever someone new joins the server and they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
That
Yeah,
new
whole
person, we're gonna
family.
invite Demise to the server, and they'll find their whole family again. It'll be a really heart touching moment.
In my just.
Are you just
I said,
Just in this just in.
oh,
news?
news?
News? Let me
This
check
just in. We're
Prosperity
having a
General.
podcast.
What's in Prosperity General? What's the news?
Nothing. It's
Box on trampoline. This is news. I
Damn.
Skinwalkers.
this is news. I'm glad we could see this. Thank you, Cecil, for bringing this up,
I still
and
keep
I'm
calling
glad
it
you.
soup. I still keep calling it soup.
Same.
Because what the fuck is prosperity?
It's
Yeah.
Perry
And,
now.
and they decided to call it Perry instead of Proop Perry. They wanted to call it Perry.
And they didn't give it the
It rolls
fucking
off the
platypus
tongue more,
mascot.
I think.
Yes, but Perry doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I
At
don't
least
get
with Proop, you could call it like I don't know, poop.
it.
Yeah, but like
uh,
That's
Perry's
pretty
in
funny.
reference to classic children's cartoon character Perry the Platypus, who we all highly respect as like a
That was a
hero
good
of
show.
society.
of course. But then it should have been called like Perry City,
Perseverance,
Perry, or I don't know,
or like,
prosperity.
but because yeah, it would be Perseverance would be Perry Prospect, but that doesn't end in itty. So
Mm,
Perseverance Itty. That's a
I'm
great one. That's a good
I'm
name.
not
I
gonna
should go
call
by
it.
that.
I'm not gonna call it Perry. I
I
never will.
found it.
That's just so dumb.
I found it.
He found it.
He found it.
Do not read it on the podcast, please. I
Do
beg of
not
you.
read it on the podcast.
You know
It's
what?
a
Let's
diagram. I found a diagram. It's not a copy pasta.
Like Yeah, don't show the CFDL. Oh no,
What?
he left. Never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
he doesn't
I
have
can
to
send
know.
it. No, I
Should we
will.
move
Don't
on to the
send it to
next question?
CFDL.
Should we move on to the next question?
There was one thing I was thinking of looking at, and then Cecil brought up the diagram, and now I've forgotten, and now I'm just afraid. So anyway, Cecil, you have the next question. We're rotating here.
Oh my
Woo!
god.
Trying the best.
Okay, wait. Skin. Where'd you get it?
Questions for Cass. Do you know that
What?
channel
Yeah.
that you have
No,
access
no,
to?
no.
Oh wow, this is
How'd you get your skin?
incredible. I've never met a more prepared podcast host.
This is this.
How'd you get your skin?
Never. How'd I get? All right, so there's this guy, Soup Jam. One time, I think it was Blazing. He was, just making skins. He was talking in general, was like, I'm bored. Does anyone want me to make a skin of them? And someone posted their own face and said, yeah, can you make this of me? Then he was like, sure. If anyone else wants, let me know. So I tell him, yeah, can you make a skin of mine? But he already had a couple. So someone else told me, yeah, I'll do it for you. So I sent a picture of the character Demise from Zelda. You can search it up if you see his like flaming hair and he's like all black and he's like really big and muscly and stuff. Anyway, so he made it for me and I have it and it looked really cool. And then he got banned the next day for harassment and I don't know his name. And that's the last I've ever heard of the guy who made my skin.
And I did want to bring it up because I can look at his name is Demise, right? The character from
Yeah, the
Legend of
Yeah.
character's
Zelda.
name is Demise.
He's a tough
From
boss.
Legend of Zelda. I'm googling this now so I can look him in the eyes, because like Demise looks pretty cool, and like you can definitely tell like yeah that's a Zelda villain, and then you looked like your profile and you just look like goop, and that's all I see is goop.
Oh my god, no.
Goop.
I mean put CFDL put this on the post or J Man on the post. Whoever is editing this video pull up name MC. It just looks like goop. That's all I see is goop.
Pretty goopy. Yeah.
He's all goop. And that's it, and that's all I can see. You can see like other skins. Like you used to be Dream, and I mean I think that's a vast improvement. You could have been Dream.
I have what do you call it? A skin like Dream with written ban on it because of the what do you call it? The co-op speedrun server I used to run with. One guy made the skin, so we all started wearing them. So when we'd get world records, it'd be right there on the video, just telling with the banned Dream skin on, because they didn't ban him, they just removed a couple of his runs.
That is beautiful. I need my own Dream skin. I wish I
Uh,
was Dream.
it
Dream?
was.
Awuga?
Awuga.
I'm honest.
Yeah,
I
man.
love Dream.
I love Dream. It
He's
is
so
incredible.
cool.
So anyways,
Yeah.
Giggles, you said you had the next question. I
I'll
should
take
have
the
the
next
next
one,
question,
yes.
but you said you wanted to take the next question.
I'll take the next one because the order is out on the list. The next one, what got you into making farms?
So I've always like sort of been interested in it by watching like the Mumbo stuff, even though Mumbo doesn't really do farms. But like like if you see his old shitty mob farm or just watching Hermitcraft, when I was young, those seemed cool, but they always seemed so like insane. But when I first got Java, because when I played Bedrock, I honestly didn't know there was a difference between Bedrock and Java. So I just watched the Java things and try and build them, and they didn't work. So I just assumed the farms and stuff didn't work. So and they were all like basic things, but I was still interested in doing them. So when I first joined TG, everything was already done, and the towns I couldn't join because I had no materials to build anything with. So I wanted to build a mob farm. So I found a Shulkercraft tutorial. I know. Um, Mob farm, and I just built that. And I was like, oh, instead of 6 layers, I'll make it 12 layers, which is actually a really bad way to do it. Um, so I thought that was cool. And then I wanted to make a sorting system. So I did that. And that was like the first thing I did on Java. Then Relax, he had a, what do you call it? He had a raid farm. So at that point, I thought because I could put a few single item sorters next to each other, I was really good at storage systems, right? So I was telling people, you can pay me to make you storage systems. So he was like, I need one for my raid farm, right? So I go there, I put the filters, and then I add whatever extra things I could. I don't actually, I didn't add anything extra then. I just put, the items and then the overflow for all the totems and stuff. So I did that at first, and that was cool. So that was also the things that led me to doing it more, especially in the reset. Um, after I got, okay, I think I'm talking a bit too much, so I'll speed it up a bit. But after I got bored of TG and I was looking at, I was trying to think of how I could speed up the gold farms. You know that old standard round one they used to have
Yeah.
everywhere in TG. I saw that and I was like, what if, because I just learned like what a despawn sphere is. I just started watching stuff on YouTube. So I was like, what if, since it's, because the regular 5 layer, if you put that skunky base one, it's not going to fit within the despawn sphere. So I was like, what if you have pigment coming from the bottom and on top? So I started working on it and it took me so long. I spent months on it. I was always streaming it in Soup General. So it took me like on and off like 5 months to make. But I eventually did it. And that was the first big project I've done. So after doing that, I put it on Soup and everyone people liked it. So I started working more and more with other things, and that's where it started. Then from there, I continued.
So you've been making all these farms for a while now, ever since 1.15 now. But what is your
Basically, since I started.
yeah? So what has been your favorite farm that you've ever made, and which one do you think has worked the best, or anything like that?
Uh, the XP farm I released for 117 is, and I don't say this lightly, but it's objectively the best, overworld portal XP farm you can have. Um, so even though this, I did it like quite fast, it only took like a few days to do. Yeah, I was quite proud of it. Like some other things I've worked on, but I haven't fully designed myself. But some upcoming things I'll probably be bragging about it in Soup General. But that was one of the best thing I was happiest with. Because after the first XP farm, I was like, I could do better. It's not really that great. But that was the one I was actually proud of.
Yeah, that one works pretty well. I go to that one all the time, and it gives me XP, and that's
What do you
all I
mean?
know. That's all I understand. I no idea
All
how
you
that works.
It
that's
is
all you need
really
to know.
simple, actually.
That's
Demise.
what everyone says, and
Demise.
it does not help.
All right. So I heard you mention Shulkercraft in there, and I remember a few months ago you were there's like a really weird thing. One of the few interactions we've had in DMs, I believe. It's just like mentioning how you hate Shulkercraft.
Oh yeah, I despise Shulkercraft. They basically just take farms other people's made, put on some fancy editing, and get way more views. So, but before that, I didn't know because I can't really blame people for watching it. Whenever you search up mob farm, up tree farm, it's the first thing you get, and it's really easy to follow. There's no, uh, there's nothing difficult about it. You just watch and you build. So that's how most people just get it. And if you care, you'll eventually start watching other people. But if you don't care, then that's just the easiest way to do it until you have Lightmatica, in which case, no tutorial is good.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely not the best situation for the people who definitely deserve credit for what they've made. But given the situation and just like the nature of everything, people are mostly playing the game casually and not as like I guess no lifing it and with all the technical details and aspects of it. It's kind of understandable like how they're getting that much traction, but it's also like kind of in a way just like unfair to the people who did put in the work. for these farms.
Yeah, I will say that they seem to be getting better at it. Like some of they started doing more of just actual. I haven't looked at their channel in a while, but last I checked, they were doing more actual survival stuff. So as stupid as they seemed, you know, it's at least it's original content, and even their things they're actually getting credit for. So even though I wouldn't recommend people use it, it's not as bad as it used to be.
And
Yeah.
I'm also here.
I Submadoge.
I have no idea what the Shulkercraft is and what magic they put on their channel and what evils and witchcraft that people are following.
Yeah.
But it all sounds evil, so I'll give it a thumbs up.
Wouldn't a thumbs down be better in this situation?
I love Shulkercraft. It
What
is
got
the
you?
best.
Evil Submadoge be like.
I I've never heard of it, but you know what? It's great. It is my favorite. It is my favorite channel on Minecraft.
Okay.
Xezel, you have the next question.
Yeah, I think I said it, and then I don't know if I cut out. But what got you into bed gang?
Bed gang. Well, since we lost the Bed Gang podcast, I guess this is the reiteration of it.
This is
Just
Bedcast 2, but just one
yeah,
fifth.
just sticking it in the middle. So at the beginning of the 116 reset, this was on like my final week of summer vacation. So I was no lifing. I was playing like no joke, like 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Sometimes, especially in the first 3 days of the launch, I was playing almost like 24/7 or like every second I could. So I think it would have been the third or fourth day, or even second or third. There's this guy called Nick the Block. He wanted everyone to sleep, and it was during the EU, like very late US. So like there were maybe 20 or so people online, and well, I actually got to step back for a second. So since the reset, every day, like EU morning, US late at night. It would just be me, Austin, Aiden, Zegmaster, and the VC together. So every day it was basically just us. Sometimes other people would join in, but we were always talking. So we were in VC when this Nick the Blocks is talking about wanting everyone to sleep. So we're just laughing at him in the VC and we're in chat. We're just making fun of him, telling no one's gonna do this. So he says, "Come to spawn. I have the sleepover set up," and he just sets like a bunch of beds on a cobblestone platform. So we go, we destroy all the beds, and we start placing them in a tower. And then every time he'd try and get into bed, we'd break the bed and kick him off of it. Um, and we basically just kept messing with him. And then we all put beds on our heads and took a screenshot, and Bed Gang was born. And then a few days later, a few people wore barrels on their head. So I started putting it as a gang war, bed versus barrel gang,
Yeah,
and then it evolved from there.
And so what game
that's
am I in again? I forgot. Am I in?
You should be in bed gang.
I think I'm in Cave Gang. It was a Murdoch and the Comics Kids was an acid trip that I don't remember.
that's
I
cool.
Yeah,
think that or I'm in
many
like
people.
Mountain Gang or like Radio Gang. We made a lot of games in that
Yeah, a
episode.
lot of people tried to make gangs after bed and barrel, but none of them compared.
And isn't Barrel Gang just Pascal?
It's basically just Pascal, Raven, and Raven.
And right.
Good for them.
So anyway, we skipped the question actually.
We did.
We did skip a question. It's quite sad. But what got you into Aether / Orion?
This is a good one. So in 115, I at first I didn't want to join any towns. Then I was like, I can't find any villagers. I want a trading hall. I want to get stuff. So I was asking who has the best trading hall. Because I wanted to just join that town for the trading hall. So I'm asking. People are telling me, soup, or back then it was curio. But I joined and that you needed a tower or a house, and I didn't have many materials. So I tried to join Aether, but yeah, back then it was called Aether, and they rejected me probably because I had nothing. I was a rando. I just joined. Anyway, by the way, I finally joined at the very end. I joined Curio, and their trading hall was so garbage. It's crazy. Um, but they didn't. So in 1.16, they had applications open again, and I was like, I've made the goal. I made some things now. They'd probably say yes. So, and also Aiden was the owner who I was friends with. So, um, I
Nepotism.
um, actually, how it first started was I didn't want to apply because I wanted to just stay in soup. But I had a guardian temple, an ocean monument, and what do you call it? Sometime I can't remember exactly who it was. Okay, he's not in the Discord anymore. I honestly forgot his name, but one of the previous owners, after Crystal,
Would that
asked me
be
for the
Sheeb?
monument. What?
Would that be Sheeb?
Sheeb. No, there was another guy. Sheeb and someone else. Um,
There's this one guy, I forgot his name, in the highway things. I thought he might have something to do with it, but I'm probably wrong.
I honestly, I don't know. I can't remember. It was
No, Pseudo was her name. Pseudo? Maybe?
Hafo. Hafo, and
Ha-
I forgot what his old name was.
no, Halfo is Sheeb.
Oh, oh no, no. Then it wasn't him. Let me. I cannot.
Unidentified Aether member.
Yeah, if I remember, I'll say it later. But yeah, he asked me. I had for the what he called ocean monument. I was like, by then I didn't need one, so I was like, sure, you don't have to pay me for it. Just name it the Temple of Demise. Um, Long story short, they never actually ended up finishing the farm, so it never got put up there, sadly. But yeah, after talking with him for a bit, then I decided, okay, why don't I just join? So I joined, and then because they're kind of like it was a much smaller group, so we basically it was a lot easier to get things. Well, not easier to get things done, but it was nicer in some ways.
So you were
Spe-
already in Aether by then. So did you just transfer over to Ryan? You started
no,
making
no,
farms
I,
again?
I, I was not. What do you call it? I was not an Aether. I was rejected from there.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe that popular TG podcast host Son of Demise was rejected from Aether.
But then in Orion, yeah, what do you call it? Some of my favorite moments in 116 was with Orion. Some of the projects we did were quite fun together.
Oh, I thought there's more to that sentence, but no, it
Oh,
just
no,
ended.
no,
Yeah.
I continued, but I thought you were gonna say like the gunpowder farm. Even after Soup built theirs, it was the fastest one because they didn't build it in a desert, but we did. So that was still kind of funny. Because that was for some time. Orion was mainly tell people what to do and they do it, but it's not like a dictatorship. Like they wanted to just do things. It was a very simple. I send things and then someone will build it.
Wow.
Which is basically how Soup worked as well. But I yeah. Also, one of the things I did for them was does anyone remember the Secret Santa event?
I
Oh
kind
When
yeah.
of
Pixie
do.
started, right?
Yeah, so by then I'd mostly left TG. I was playing on Mindtech, but I came back and I was like, it'd be really funny if I give some obnoxiously big gift to someone. So I was like, why don't I just build them a private gold farm? So I started, mining obsidian, gathering everything. I built it, and my thing was Relax, and Relax gave it to Orion. So I just built it and gave it to Orion, and that was quite fun to do because it was nice to go because it wasn't as busy as Soup, and it also lasted quite a bit in Anarchy. We were able to use it.
Yeah, speaking of Orion, really random tidbit from when I joined the server. So I think I joined the server like 2 weeks after it opened up, and I was like scared to join anything. So I kind of picked a direction, started walking in it, and then I went through the nether at some point, I forget. But I ended up at a place called Orion, and I was just like, oh hey, this town name sounds pretty cool. I'm just gonna walk in, look around. I see there's like a wall of blocks and stuff. There's a farm below. Um, and I'm like, oh, cool. There's like a weird Greek temple, something over here in a weird house. I'm just gonna place a sign that says, "Hi, this is my IGN. Can I join your town? My Reddit is here. My Discord's here as well. If you want to reach out to me." Yeah. And then I logged off, and then I got a reply from someone. I think it was Siloter or something. I don't know how to say the name.
Silater, yes, yes, yes.
Siloter.
That's sorry. I'm really sorry to interrupt, but Silater, that's the one I was
Yeah,
talking to
that's
about
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
ocean manual.
He
Yeah,
sent he
continue.
sent he sent me a DM. It was like, sorry, I think I might have it somewhere. Um, but yeah, he was like basically, yeah, no, it's a private town type thing. I can't really accept you coming in. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of feels bad, but understandable. Did he delete his Discord or something?
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
I think I might have lost the DM then.
I think they
I
still.
almost definitely have.
This is great Nico lore.
Yeah, no, I have so like um if anything, I kind of don't want to hijack the thing, but like being a rando, I've like stumbled upon some of the weirdest shit, and then like later on, I like realized like that was like kind of a pretty big thing in the community. I don't think I've mentioned this specific thing to anyone before, but I have joined on 1.15 before. I was in the Temple of Welcome with Yax and Lafayette 12. Who
I know about that actually.
and so that was that, and I kinda, like, never really played on much on 1.15 because I was playing on a shitty laptop with not the best Wi-Fi, and I kept on rubber banding through the floor in the Nether. Every time I would get off of a boat, I would fall through, and so that just made me, like, rage quit and never come back. But, one of the things I did stumble upon in the towns for, like, 1.15 was this, like, really weird looking thing. It was, like, on the side of a mountain in a dark oak forest. And then it was like a whole bunch of things. I walked around. There's like this weird bridge thing to a place nearby that had like a pixel art thing. And at the bottom of the stair things, whatever, at the bottom of the mountain or whatnot, there was a wither rose there, and it had a sign next to it, and it just said Ethan's gaping asshole.
That's
Oh yeah, I think I remember seeing that somewhere.
And I want to find that place because like memories and stuff, but like also I could not be asked.
I've never heard of that before ever, and I'm afraid of it now.
Yeah. So I guess it's I can technically say I've touched Ethan's gaping asshole. That
So
is
on to
not
the
a
next
sentence I would have
question.
said.
you can also say you've been inside of it. That's
You're
that's what it
right.
sounds like.
Nico, you have the next question.
This is a mistake. All right,
Oh
No,
wait, 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 no, never mind. Wait, I just thought about it. No, you don't. You don't have the next question. Zeus has the
I
next
do.
question.
I do.
Zesel
he
has the
does have
next
the next question.
question.
Yeah, give me the next question would have been a big mistake.
Yeah.
See?
So does Bed Gang have any future plans?
Bed Gang has a lot in its future. I can't even say that with a straight. Bed Gang is at this point it's just a group chat, which is what it's really always been. Um, it's still
Oh,
like but we used to have some projects, but basically all of the Bed Gang members left TG. No, no, I'm pretty sure no one plays on it anymore. Yeah, actually, I can
I
say none
play.
of the Bed Gang members play TG anymore.
I think Aiden's on, like occasionally. Like
Uh,
once every 2 months, he'll play on for like a couple of minutes and leave suddenly.
Yeah.
But he's been like a little bit. And that reminded me of the other thing I was talking about. I don't know what's up with Soloder because I don't think he's played TG in years. But he keeps logging in and leaving, so he gets the top streak.
what? Oh, yeah, I remember caring about it.
And yeah, he logs in, he logs up, but he's not in any of the discords. He doesn't actually play TG. He's not in the community, but he wants the top streak. And I can respect that. So anyway, who is the next question? I think it's me. I think I do.
Yeah, the next one.
What got you in to TG Media? The thing we're doing now.
All right,
Actually,
so I joined, the first time the Discord was the first time it was announced, they were pinging in all the various TG Discords. So I found it like I joined right away, and the channels haven't been made. They were all discussing sort of how it's going to be structured. So I was like, this seems cool. But obviously then it was only VTD as a host, so there wasn't much that I was doing. But I was always interested in being involved in it or being a guest or something. So I guess that finally happened. Um, so and then it's sort of like like it went on for a while. Then when VTD left, they were looking for new hosts. I was like, let's volunteer. And the first two trial hosts, me and Submadoge, uh, it went well. And we were, I think, like it was. I still think one of the best episodes of the podcast. So we were made permanent hosts, like just like that from the start. So we we kept organizing more and more of the things, and then eventually VTD made us admins, and now I run stuff even, and now like some the owner, but like yeah.
it's cool.
So it's just kind of like
You're blue now.
I'm blue now. I can tell people what to do,
You
and
can
they don't listen.
you
But
can ban people without volition.
I can pen people. Um, but yeah, it's like a good episode. And then I got turned into a permanent host, and because not many people were active anyway, we just became like admins by default.
Yeah, I'm trying to think there was a lot of people that signed up to be host. And I think we actually like trashed a lot of applications and just ignored them. That was
Yeah.
a dark part in TJ media history. I can only think of one person we actually trashed though. But how many people actually signed up to be host? That's
Uh,
interesting.
and back then it was just whoever was interested would be made a temporary host. So you just put it on a list.
So kind of like what's going on right now.
Yeah, we're doing it again. By the way,
Ooh.
Xezel, your application has been trashed. It's quite sad.
Oh,
I even remember making one. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you may have been one of the trashed applications. I
That's
forgot
cool.
that was that was weird. That was because there was a lot going on at the time that we kept trying to find a host and try to match people up with different people and try to get these episodes out all the time. And we had episodes like Bed Game where the entire episode was just lost and we didn't have anything to work with and no one knew how that host actually was because there's no proof that it ever actually existed in the first place. Like with Mobzilla's, he just doesn't have a record of ever being a host because he had the Bedkin episode, and that episode was deleted. So
So
very interesting.
let's have hopes for this one then.
Yep.
Also, that is the end of my questions, and the rest of the questions cast are all user submitted. So I cannot confirm their quality. Nichols, you have the next question.
all right.
So
Next question. Roberblock?
is that how you
Oh
say
God,
it?
Roberblock. That was
Robber
quite
Block?
Wait, that's how you say it?
You say Robber
Robber
Block?
I say it
Rober.
Rober.
It's Rober
Yeah,
Block.
Roberblock.
Rober or robber?
It's
It's
because
Rober. There's two B's in
Tipcast says
Robber.
Rober.
Yeah. There's
So
two
Rober.
B's in robber.
Roberblock.
It's Rober?
Oh
Okay.
god, that was such a good. Okay, so let me talk about how that happened. So what's it? What do you call it? Salat. TG started getting boring. This was in 1.16. So he, what do you call it? He made one day he just announced, by the way, made a server. He paid for one from what's it called? Pebble?
Pebble host.
I think it was Pebble.
Yeah, because I still have the IP, so.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Well, yeah, so he announced to everyone, by the way, I'm making a server. So, and like it wasn't planned. He just opened it up and people started playing. So we were speed running the dragon. Um and it was like it was no rules. So everyone was killing each other in the end and bed bombing, and it was good fun. But
Finally, the
after
true
at night,
successful
everyone went
CGN.
because there also weren't any of the optimization mods like lithium and phosphor. Um, so I told him I was telling him about these mods he should add. I was telling him later because everyone's having fun speedrunning now. So he was like, sure. So then after we beat the dragon and we went to the end cities and stuff, we shut it down and it was already quite late at night. But so he what do you call it? Gave me panel access. He made me an administrator. So and I added the extra mod. So then we were talking about, we added carpet and a bunch of stuff like that. So some extra rules like stacking shulker boxes and stuff like that. And it was what do you call it? Quite fun. So at first it was called xezelthrawr, because that was right after the time when everyone was naming themselves Skizzily. Remember that?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I do. I still have like a lot of people that I have there's like a note on Discord, and I put their names there in case an
I did
event
that
like that
too.
ever
It's
happens again.
still there.
But yeah. Um
That was the realest laugh I've ever heard.
okay, now that I made back anyway. So after that it died really fast. It was basically only me and Dankinese playing. It was basically my because I'd already joined a tech server then. So that was my what I could do is where I could play like technical Minecraft, but with TG, with the people I liked. So it was basically me and Dank having fun building things. But it died. We were basically the only ones playing. So we were like, people aren't playing this because it's exactly the same as TG, just slightly different. So we were talking about different things we could do. So I was like, well, why don't we do a Skyblock server? So we were like, yeah, that sounds good. Like we put up a poll if people would rather play, what do you call it? If they would rather have modded Sky Factory or vanilla-ish a Skyblock. So people voted that they would rather do vanilla-ish Skyblock, because it's obviously can't be fully vanilla. Um, so me and Salat started working on it. We used mainly what do you call it, different carpet mod and its forks to get all of the renewability and things. Um, and we worked to make the islands. I even learned how to alter loot tables so I could change mob drops for it. That was my little hacker man moment. Um, and it was really good. So when we launched it, we were really excited for it because I spent a lot of time on it. Um, and then when what do you call it?
I don't know, what do
Okay, I
you
had
call it?
a brain fart. Anyway, so when it launched, people really liked it, and it stayed active for quite a while. I'd say like a few weeks, maybe even a month. And then it died out because, well, I think people still like TG then. There's still some, but yeah, people eventually got bored and it stayed up for several months and then just got shut down. And then, Salat left, so there wasn't ever even like hope of putting it. I think if we made it during 17, it would have stayed up active a lot longer because no one really cares about TG anymore.
I
Uh,
care.
well, we care considering we're doing this, but like they didn't. Yeah, it was, and it was quite successful. Um, so I like that was a lot of fun. The whole project, even though I ended up dying, I still like really enjoyed it. No, there was a lot, like a lot. We also had auto crafting, which was nice. We had to ban a few people because but yeah, and like it sort of becoming a running joke that this $15 server and the just like 10-15 hours of time I put into it was more successful than the several $100 hundreds of hours of Ascendancy and Lemurai, and it was more successful than them. So it sort of became a running thing. But it was, a really fun project, and I'm glad people enjoyed it at least for the short time that it was up.
Yeah, it was great. I loved Roberblock. I
Roberblock was
it
I'm
was no, you speak.
Uh, Roberblock was pretty fun in my opinion. I mean, I guess it's like one of the few things that like it did around the time when I was like trying to get myself more into the community, and it was like a really fun type of thing. Speaking of Lemuria, I did join that on the tail end when I was like the only person playing on it, and
Oh
at
my
that point, I just like
goodness.
gave zero shits about the whole thing, and I don't know what the hell this is. This is fucking boring. I don't like it, and I just never touched it again. So I get that.
We're getting a lot of Nico lore. Fine, we not only is he a 1.15 player, but now he is a toxic TGN raider,
No,
ascendancy
like
player,
I li
Nikos.
I did touch Ascendancy, and with Lemuria, I did touch it, but I like it was like I think I touched it, like, a couple days before they shut it down.
It doesn't matter. You're TGN now.
Oh, shit.
That's
Oh my
just the
god.
rules. How
Am
does it
I
feel being TGN?
different? Um, feels
Anyway, so
good, I guess? I don't know.
You know
this
what?
next,
You see, so I'll give you the next question.
I think it was already gonna be me,
Yeah,
but
it was gonna be him.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
just want you to read that word up there.
it's it says Gnemboner mango. What?
Oh, gnembon or ilmango. Those are two of the most well-known technical Minecraft players. I mean, Mumbo Jumbo, I guess, but he's not really like up there. Um,
Sure.
Gnembon for sure. He's just his videos are like really entertaining and has like you learn a lot from it. So yeah, that's
How do you say it?
Nembon. Actually, something that recently happened, like he's the guy who made Carpet Mod. Um, and he's like he makes a lot of really good like beginner farms and stuff like that. Like he recently became a senior software developer at Mojang. So that's
Hmm.
really cool.
I'm going to see who asked that question and then ban them.
Probably IE Plastic.
I'm going to see.
Yeah, it's
But
me.
yeah, like he went just from making videos on a game to working as a software developer at the company. So that was quite cool.
It was plastic, yes.
Hmm.
Oh,
You guys
yes,
are the
one
worst
one or
ones.
the other. Okay, I actually misspelled that in questions you asked. Which
So
one do
yeah,
you prefer?
I prefer Nembon. Like even though they're both entertaining, Nembon's videos, like Amango's videos, I don't see it when I see them. I don't immediately go click on it. They're not really as. I just don't find them as entertaining as Nembon's.
I just realized I'm in the wrong. Okay, I have the next question now,
That's cool.
and there's this one I did see on my way over the band plastic. Was some advice CFDL. Jamie,
What?
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 that the question is who is Jamie? Submitted by our wonderful editor CFDL. That is the question he asked.
Yeah, I think so.
More than two?
Uh, I think so. Maybe like three. I think three.
Understandable. I'm gonna delete this question and ban CFG.
No, it's such a good question.
He's gone. You can't see him
No,
anymore. He's banned.
no,
Permaban.
no.
Nico, you have the next question.
What is our next question? It appears it is. What is
The
your
last,
favorite?
the last
Okay.
of the good ones.
Um. Oh boy. What is your favorite moment on the server or Minecraft in general? I think he's time traveling
No, no,
again.
no.
I
I'm
need you. I
thinking.
need
I'm
to call
thinking.
the ambit.
My
He's time
favorite
traveling.
moment. Uh, my favorite moment. Honestly, don't know. There's a lot of really good
Yeah.
moments, but I think I don't know. A few top ones would. A few top ones would be the first what do you call it? The first Roberblock launch. Um, what do you call it? I honestly can't really pinpoint a specific moment. It's more like the TG, the 116 TG media tour. That one that was like one of the best times I've had. Um, it's more like things that happen, like uh the gold farm harassment, or what do you call it? Hior's biography that I wrote. I enjoyed that.
What was that
Uh,
called again? I forgot. It
oh,
was so
what do you
yeah,
call it? The
no.
slaughter.
The slaughter. Yes.
I wanted to call it the man behind the slaughter because he was known for killing a lot of people, but that was too long of a title, so I just put the slaughter because in the
No,
name of all the people he's
no,
killed.
it's not.
It
Because
isn't.
I figured this out when I was transcribing hundreds of books from TGN. When you write a book title, you only have like 16 characters. But if you take that book and put it in an anvil, you have like 32.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And it's
oh,
still, and even when you copy the book over, it still keeps the name, and it still treats that as the book title.
oh, okay.
It's the magic I've learned when I had to put like the chapter titles at TG and TG High, and I couldn't put anything more than TG High.
Submadoge's gnembon confirmed with all these technicalities.
I am gnembon. That is my true identity.
Oh shit.
I've actually been alting on the Submadoge account for years now.
Um,
Xezel, you have the next question. I think Xezel died. I think I need to call him an ambulance.
He's
eh,
time traveling. He's time traveling.
He's time traveling.
He's time traveling to become his own
Xezel.
grandfather.
Xezel,
he's
how old are
becoming
you?
his own grandfather.
How old are you, Xezel? Have you reached 80 yet?
Okay, well, he's
I'm banning
gone.
Xezel. Okay, I have the next question. This one's submitted by a helper, our great helper, Sigma Turbine. Have you ever found your father, son of Demise?
Sadly, I have not. I've been searching. Well, I mean, I guess I am my own son, so yeah. uh, It's I guess the father's really the friends we've made along the way.
Really? Wow. That actually is a good question. Have you ever spoken to the person who actually owns the Demise account?
No, and I really wish I could. It's dumb to pay people for accounts, but honestly, I'm willing to drop a few bucks to get that name. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
I
Here's the real question.
Sacrifice.
How much money would you say, like, no, that's too much money for the Demise account?
honestly, I'd say because like
Actually, I might have to pull up the
spending money
money
like
translator.
Let's phrase it this way. If I
I'm
bought it
willing
and
to
then
pay up
tried
to
to sell it to you.
$10. I'm willing to pay up to $10 for the Demise account.
$11? Too much.
Too much.
I don't know. It kind of depends on. I don't know. Hard to really. I couldn't
I
put an exact limit, but I would not definitely not go above 15.
I think we should phrase it this way. If I were to buy it, then try and sell it to you, how
Cecil,
much of a profit would I be making?
Cecil, have you become your own grandfather yet? You left for a bit. Have you time traveled?
No.
He tried
No,
to. It was a failed attempt. Don't worry, he'll get it one day.
I think. Do I keep cutting out?
yeah,
Yeah,
you
Uh,
did a
definitely.
lot. Like through this entire podcast, you speak for like 5 seconds and then you're off for 20.
That's incredible.
It is very, very great. It's gonna be pick up great on the audio.
wait, Zizzo,
Yeah.
are you on your broken laptop?
No,
The water
Oh.
one.
the
Yeah, one you
water
put
one.
water on.
My Wi-Fi is just awful.
I'm gonna delve into the subject later when we get xezelthrawr finally.
Yeah.
Dieselcast. Expect that soon.
Very
Oh my goodness.
well, not soon. We actually have
Yeah.
podcasts planned now, and we have so many that we have to do.
Wait, we do.
There's 3 that we have planned. The next one we have to do is Christy Cast because we need to do that one because she leaves TG in early January.
Oh.
And then we have to do December's coming up, and we have to do a Blazing Cast. I think on December 16th or like the 28th or one of those dates because that is when the original Blazing Cast was filmed, and when VTD didn't get the footage and the whole thing was lost. And the
Yeah.
first lost was, so we're gonna do it on the anniversary. And then whenever we have time, whenever Christy Cast is done, the next one lined up is, as long as it doesn't interfere with Blazing Cast, is Famsky's Cast. And we're gonna have him on the podcast.
I don't think I've ever spoken to Famskis before. He seems pretty cool.
Same.
I've spoken to him a little bit. I interviewed him for like 2 days, so I talked to him a bit there, and we've talked on TG and stuff. I ask him to do slave work a lot, and he does slave, and it works well. It's a great what's the word?
Everyone wins.
Parasitic relationship.
It's a win-win.
No, it's not a win. I just win. I'm the only
Oh,
winner
okay.
here.
Oh.
Okay. It is this Submadoge we're talking about after all.
Mitchell Pop asked when Muzak cast is, and we can't do it. Muzak said no. It's sad.
He's busy.
1984.
He's always busy. All right, I guess that means Diesel has the next question.
Yes. Which is
Why not?
is
I
your
thought I
big
had
toe
it.
currently touching your index toe?
Speaking of the devil, that one was submitted by Famskis.
Yeah.
Actually, on my left one, yes. On my right one, no. When you asked me, but right now they are not touching each other. Well, now my right's touching and my left isn't yet. Okay, let's move on.
Are they just constantly moving or what?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm moving my feet.
Okay.
This is the best podcast we've ever recorded.
This is.
Also, we are out of questions for questions
God.
cast, so we are on to improv and or user submitted questions. If anyone in No Bike wanted to submit any last minute questions that they would like answered on the cast right now for
I'm
Son of
great at
Demise.
improv.
Now will forever hold your peace. Or something like that.
Mitchell Pup is typing.
Oh my
Also,
god.
plastic asking when I do summer cast, but just we're gonna do for VTD cast. We might do that on April 1st because we were gonna have Blitz casts where we had Blitzer on, but only for 5 seconds.
That's too long.
Too long. For this podcast, because this podcast has already been going on for an hour and 7 minutes, I thought that would be pretty fast. But Blitz just left the server, so we can't do that.
Okay.
Let's did leave. I forgot.
So we have a question if
We do have a
somebody wants
question.
to read it.
Who is the voice of Mitchell Pop? Who would like to speak for Mitchell Pop?
I guess I'll speak for him. Where's his question?
In No Mic.
Podcast. Oh no, Mike.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see. Question is Demise. Why do you hate Submadoge?
Okay.
Okay.
Wait a minute. First you said Xezel, then you said Roberblock, and now Submadoge, and I
Okay,
am
you know what?
incredibly offended.
I am not in it today. I am not in
I
it.
am. You know what? I'm banning you. You're
No.
leaving. Get out
Alright.
of here.
Okay, Mitchell, I'll answer your question after I ask Submadoge a question. Submadoge, what are your thoughts on Boog?
I was traumatized as a young child by the monstrosity and horrific character known as Boog.
You call that a
Okay, well, Mitchell, I
monstrosity?
don't like Submadoge because he's a vile creature that does not deserve the gift that is
You
life.
you know what I've
He's
been through,
he
Demise.
is the living embodiment of pure misery.
You know
Demise,
what?
you don't know what happened to me in my past.
You know what? I'm flipping
When
this.
Nothing.
I
I'm
was in elementary school, they would play the movie open season every single day for all the kids who couldn't go home once school was over. So they just
Oh
kept
my
playing
god.
open season over and over and over again until their parents picked them up. And I dealt
Aw.
with that for 4 years
it's like heaven.
of nothing but boog and open season for years.
That's
So
cool.
yes, I hate Boog, and he's terrible, and I hate him.
You know what? I'm flipping the script. I don't like that answer. I'm banning you.
You have no power here. You in what army?
That's what I
Those
want you to
are
think.
those are two different quotes.
Yeah, it's double quotes.
Is the
I'm
sec
getting all of my points here.
is the second one even a quote or is it just a saying?
It
I
is
I
a
think
quote
what
from a
from?
movie. I don't know what movie. Let me
What movie?
Google it.
Wait, what's the quote?
You
It
in what
said
army?
You in what army? Oh, I know this.
that's
Oh,
definitely
it's a trope.
yeah.
Uh,
What I was thinking.
on tvtropes.org. What? Where is it? There's they have files and files and files of names of movies that use this trope.
Okay, find the first one and then
I don't know if I
find
can find the first one because it's not organized by time. Let me see
no, no,
for
just click
live
on one.
action films.
No, just look at the
Uh,
first one that you find and then that's it.
The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
Okay, that's good enough. Who says it?
Mr. Electric.
Okay. We've done it.
The second one is Paul Blart Mall Cop,
Oh.
and the third one is Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. This
Yeah,
is an
that
interesting lineup of movies here.
so I
Uh,
guess
this is weird. And then there's just
yeah.
one movie that's just white. It's just a white space, and I don't know what the movie is.
Okay,
That's
White Space, the movie.
White
yeah.
Space the movie.
Oh, it's a spoiler. It's like a spoiler tag. Cobra
Oh,
Oh,
Commander.
I think
thanks for the spoiler warning.
yeah,
I'm
Jesus.
sorry. I didn't mean to spoil you with the title of that movie. I know it hasn't been released yet.
Say sorry right now.
No.
Understandable.
I'll never apologize for what horrific crimes I have done. Like I'll admit to my crimes. I griefed the TG Media Tower in 1.16,
You know what?
Um,
I'm gonna say it.
and no one
You,
noticed. No
I'm
one
gonna,
noticed.
I'm gonna say it. Okay. I don't care what you think because you definitely deserves what Boob did to you in elementary school after that. That was on you at that point.
I can't believe that you're thrusting this trauma back onto me, and this is pretty inhumane what you're doing here, Nicholas.
did you ever ask them to play something else?
They did, and the only other movie they had was the live action Garfield.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's they made a live action of that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wait, is the live action Garfield really that bad? Because when I watched it as a kid, I liked it.
yeah, but when you watch any movie as a
it was
kid, you
okay.
like it.
That one was weird. I think I didn't like that movie because of the CGI was really bad, and you couldn't really tell what was going on.
The
I do
CGI
not
was
remember the CGI looking bad, but when I look at it now, it's terrible.
It's for some reason where I live and the time that I grew up in,
where is that? When is that?
Hell and 1842. And
1842.
the everywhere had a movie player. Everyone had a disc player, but the only two movies that were appropriate enough to play for kids was Open Season and a live action Garfield movie. And those were the only two movies anyone had. And sometimes they say, well, okay, if you don't want to see this movie, we'll just turn on the TV. And when they turned on the TV, the only channel they had was Disney Channel. And the only thing that Disney Channel was ever playing was The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. So those were the only three movies I ever knew.
Wow.
And I've been traumatized by all three, but most importantly, Boog. And I hate Boog.
You're just a Boog anti.
Anti-Boog?
Of
That's
course.
what you are.
I
I can't believe you would do. I can't believe you would. Mm,
Hmm.
my blood is boiling at the thought of you hating Boog.
have what may be the last question. What is the name of this podcast?
Oh my god.
We did.
Demise.
Oh.
We did touch on the fact that Demise is a time traveler, so I think it should definitely incorporate some of that into it.
I am leaning more
Shouldn't
towards.
this be discussed after the podcast?
No.
We're doing this now. This is the new.
the
This is
content.
the new. How did you join the server?
Yeah.
I was thinking something on the lines of the Vaporeon copy pasta just to smear his record.
The
For like
what?
the Vaporeon copy
Oh
pasta.
my god, no, let's not do that.
We're forever going to associate your name with the Vaporeon copy
Oh my
pasta on this
god.
TG Media server, and I
Te-
think that's a great idea.
Tekna's
Yeah.
the one that does the thumbnails, right?
Tekna is the one that does the thumbnails. You can
Yes.
bribe him money, and he will do it. Change the thumbnail.
Please, whatever you do, just hide a Vaporeon in there somewhere.
Yeah. Put.
Please.
Yeah.
That would be
That's-
Itty bitty,
amazing.
like not even like a transparent PNG, just like a full square, like the Vaporeon in there, like
Yeah.
Yes.
somewhere. But the thing is, actually, I think this is going to be the first episode that actually has the podcast studio in it, built by the incredible datbrrto for the interior of the TG Media building.
Round of applause
Oh.
for that Birdo, please. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Okay.
There you go, and that's a round of applause. That's all he gets.
Amazing work.
I don't even know if that picked up on mic, but I can assume
It did not pick up.
It did not pick up on. I gave
It
him
did
one.
not pick up.
I'll give him. I'll verbally describe what happened, and that's all he's going to get. I
Clap.
clapped once.
Oh,
I think I heard it, but like very soft. I don't know.
It was a single clap, and that's even less than giving him a clap. Is describing the clap.
yeah, just like clap, clap, clap. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's all he got.
That's all he gets.
Well, no, wait, no. I just thought about what you said. Sorry, I answered without thinking. No, he doesn't get 3.
Oh, okay.
Just one.
I rescind
one,
those two.
one described clap.
I rescind those 2 described claps in favor of just a single described clap. Please.
Thank you.
I mean no harm to Submadoge.
Demise is asking for me to make a segue. So, guys, don't you love the topic of ending podcasts?
No.
That's a pretty cool. Oh,
Submadoge, you're not supposed to say, I told you to make a segue to end the podcast.
This is a great segue. I love topics and anything regarding ending podcasts. An hour and 16 minutes in, and oh boy, would you look at the time? It's been an hour and 16 minutes.
yeah.
It's really incredible what happens. But I'd first like to talk about this, and I think that you would really.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank
you
you.
all for coming to the TG podcast. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm trying to.
Cut.
I'm just gonna let you do it. Yeah, just cut
Editor
it off.
should have
Cut it
cut
off.
by
Just
now.
cut it off
Editor
right
should
now,
have
yeah.
cut by now.